This is Elliot Rodger, a 22-year-old man from Isla Vista, California, who became so upset by his inability to lose his virginity that he decided to unleash a merciless retaliation upon society, which ended with him killing 6 innocent people and injuring another 14 in the process.
Hi. So I've been watching this documentary, and I'm not done with it yet, but I'm already at this conclusion. So Elliot Rodger is a boy who was trapped in the burning passion of lust. And this is just an example of how negative this can look, of burning with passion of lust. People don't see it as a big problem, but this man was killing innocent people that literally did nothing to him. He was fighting because he was burning with this passion and he couldn't fight it. And he says, this is what I've wrote. Elliot Rodger was filled with anger because he was a virgin and no one wanted him. He loved women but couldn't have them because they didn't want him. He threw coffee at a happy couple. This was the first outward action of his contempt anger. He was finally so fed up that he shot pretty girls and happy couples and said if he can't fulfill his desire, he would end the desire for everyone else, assuming that every girl he thought was pretty is what everyone else desired too. He thought that his burning passion was equal with everyone else's burning passion. And then I have biblical context here. So lust, in Proverbs 11 verse 6, the righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the treacherous are taken captive by their lust. Boom, right there. He was taken captive by the devil in his temptation of lust, and it burned inside of him so badly that he killed people. Chapter 11 of Proverbs talks about all these different ways of how the godless people and the righteous people are so different, and how it's a false balance. So with pride there's disgrace, and with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, and the crookedness of the treacherous destroys. Riches do not profit the wrath of death. Righteousness, you're delivered from death. The wicked falls by his own wickedness. And then in verse 8 it says, righteousness is delivered from trouble, and the wicked falls into it instead. Verse 9, godless man destroys his neighbor. Righteousness is delivered by knowledge. Verse 14, when there is no guidance, a people falls, but in abundance of counselors there is safety. If you don't have Jesus, there's a whole world of trouble that you can fall into the lies that the devil feeds you, the lies of society, which is the devil. Devil's a liar, and Jesus' truth will set you free, and his grace will set you free. And this boy, throughout this whole thing, the dad never talks about how he took him to church and all these different things. And I know that if you take someone to church, it does not automatically save them. You don't get saved that way. We've talked about salvation before on here. And you have to accept Jesus into your heart and be willing to accept his abundance of love, and his never-ending faithfulness and love in order to place your life on him. You can't just go to church and call it good. But with the parts of when there is no guidance, a people falls, the parents were not guiding him in that way. They were, his dad married an actress, and his dad was a producer. So they had riches. If you have riches, they don't profit you. in the wrath of death. It's not going to save you from death. You can't buy your way out of hell. But if with righteousness you are delivered, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much good you've done. If you don't have righteousness with God, you're not going to heaven. You can't be delivered from the evil things of this world. And this man, this boy, Elliot, was another lost voyager in this world. And nobody helped him. Not every person that doesn't accept Jesus is going to turn out like this man. But this is an outward example of how the devil can grab onto someone and control them to the point of murder. Just watching this documentary, I'm like, this is lust. This is seriously what lust looks like on the outside. Of what it looks like to burn with passion is to burn with anger and contempt. It can, anyway. We can use his story to share the reason why we share the gospel and why it's so important to share the good news, because not everybody is born into a family that shares it all the time, takes them to church, is a guidance to find God. Not everyone knows who God is, and we don't want people to end up like Elliot. And there's still going to be evil in the world. Jesus is going to get rejected again and again in this world. But those that accept his love and accept what he's done for us on the cross will be delivered and have a relationship with him. How do we not burn with passion? Follow God. Read the Bible for how we should live. Because the truth will set us free. Thank you for listening.